So let's take a look at problems 2 and 3. These were both about experimental design. So for the first one, it says what percent of the subjects in the study were given the placebo? So it's the percent of the subjects in the study. And so for that one, our denominator is going to be the total of all the numbers of subjects in the study. So if we take 42, 12, 21, and 36 and add them together, there were 111 subjects in the study. And of those, which ones were given the placebo? These were given the placebo. So that's a total of 57. So if you take 57 over 111 and make that into a percentage, that's 51.4%. For B, so let's get rid of that. Hold on. So let's erase and let's take a look at B. So for problem B, it asks us something different. It says what percent of the subjects who had reduced frequency of migraines? So now we're only looking at these people. And so for B, our denominator isn't going to be 111, it's going to be 42 plus 21. And so the denominator we're going to be using is 63. And it says, what percent of those people were taking the drug? So these were the people taking the drugs, 42 out of 63. And if we convert that into a percentage, we're going to get 66.7%. For C, it says, do you think this drug might be effective in reducing frequency of migraine headaches? But then you were directed specifically to support your answer using appropriate percentages. So just a tip off here, see how that has an S on the end? That means you should be comparing more than one percentage. And so to do that problem, what we want to do is we want to take the percent of the drug who had reduced migraines, and you want to compare it with the percent of the placebo who had reduced migraines. And so once you do that, you're going to see which of those percentages are different. Are they the same? Which one is larger than the other? So for example, these are all the people on the drug, and these were the people that were reduced. So 42 out of 54 of the drug were reduced, and you can make that into a percentage. But we need to compare it with this group here, the placebo. So of the placebo, 21 out of 57 were reduced. And I'll let you change those to percentages yourself. And then based on the percentages, you can make a decision. Let's take a look at problem 3 also. So problem 3 was about dog day at a university. And it says, what was the treatment variable and what was the response variable? So the treatment variable is what is done to someone. So dog day was kind of the treatment variable. They were exposed to dogs. And the response is what they measured. So that what they measured was their stress level. So treatment was exposure to dogs and response was stress level. There was a little bit of misunderstanding about this word random assignment. So one thing I want you to know is that random assignment is not the same as random selection. And that's super important. They both use the word random, but they're different pieces of experimental design. So in random assignment, you have two groups. You have a control group, and you have an experimental or a treatment group. And in random assignment, what happens is you have a subject. Here, we'll just draw him over here. We have a subject, and we're going to randomly assign them to one of these groups. And then we have another subject, and we're going to randomly assign her to another group. And so if we just think of all of our subjects lined up to be in the experiment, there's some kind of process we use so that they're randomly assigned to one of these two groups. That's called random assignment. And since this experiment did not have two groups, it didn't have a control group, all the students in this experiment were exposed to dogs, All of them got tested for their stress. There was no control or treatment group, and so this experiment did not use random assignment. And I'll let you read about blinding on your own, but most people did a great job on that one.